Inchesh Michalalush. My name is Huckleberry Eyes for my grandpa Alec Peters as a baby because my eyes looked like they were navy blue and looked big like huckleberries. My English name is Jackie Andrew from Lillooet, Statlam. It's an honor to be here, and I just want to share my journey and my connection to this circle with other gatherings. This is my parents. My dad is Chief Leonard Andrew Lillooet, and my mom is Florence. She's a Peters. And I'm very honored to have my favorite aunt on my dad's side and my favorite uncle here, Franklin Andrew. He's very good friends, and he's ceremonied with Chief Orville Looking Horse for several years, long before we started to. And this has brought a journey with me and my family as well. And I just wanted to share some, as I speak, the journey of our people. We come from Lillooet, Statlam in so-called British Columbia, which is unceded. Our people have the declaration of the Lillooet tribe that we signed, our ancestors signed in 1911. My father, Chief Leonard Andrew, and his two brothers, Uncle Frank and Uncle Fraser, as children were brought to our lake. And their elders spoke to them in our language and honed them to be a chief and spiritual leaders. And I didn't know this. I didn't know this until I was an adult. And another thing I didn't know was the bear medicine that my uncles prayed for. It's a Cookstum. My Uncle Frank and my late Uncle Fraser and our late Uncle Ernie Thavarge prayed for the bear medicine to return. They'd have bear sweats, and they wouldn't have a door on there. They would just have a little hole on the top, hundreds of rocks, couple hundred, several rocks. And they would do this, sometimes on their own, often on their own, because medicine people before them were taken away by the residential schools and colonization. And people call me a medicine woman, but I'm not. I'm not a true mechach dancer either, and I don't believe any of us are, but we're doing our best to bring the medicine, the bear medicine, back. So it's a really good teaching. I come from a very humble family where there's no sexism, there's no egos in spirituality. And that's my lesson with learning other ceremonies when I go beyond my community in Statlam, when I travel across Turtle Island. Some big lessons with sharing and learning other cultures. One thing that brought me to my people too was our roadblocks, and before that was our Statlam Declaration. And because, as you heard before through Kanahus, that Statlam is unceded, our ancestors got together in 1911 and signed the Declaration of the Lillooet tribe. And every year our people gathered together in our 11 territories to remind each other what it is to be Statlam, and that this land is our inherent right and that we have to protect it. Our Lillooet people are really well known to protecting our land and our waterways. I was talking to our sister who just came up, Donna. I picked her up at the airport last night, and she was saying she heard our Lillooet songs during Oka. So Lillooet is also known as Mount Currie, and this is in the Pemberton area, and it's well known for skiing, snowboarding, biking, People come from all over the world in our territory because it also resides in Whistler. 3 million people visit Whistler every year. Every year, some of them just for the day, some of them overnight, but 3 million. There's a few thousand people in Pemberton, and we have about a couple thousand Lilwat. And a lot of lessons in our life through the roadblocks. We had a roadblock in 1975, and we had another one later in 1990. Our people have shared the Men's Warrior song, and we have, of course, our Women's Warrior song that we'll share later. We have our bear song. We have a grizzly bear song and a black bear song that comes from the Dan family. A lot of teachings. Also, what brought me to another circle, of course, many of us know about Standing Rock. I went there through my connections through my Uncle Frank, and because he's such close friends with Chief Orville, I just wanted to be of service, and I've met several people there. My friend River here, he goes, "Didn't I meet you at Standing Rock the other day?" And I'm like, oh my God. So it's very powerful connections that we'll never, ever forget. And we need to stand up. And that's something I've had to do recently. We have a birthing rock. That's what we call it, a birthing rock, but we don't know what our ancestors called it in our language. At least I don't know. During our ancestors' times, we'd have medicine men, medicine people that would be on the top of each mountain in our valley. And we have beautiful mountains, snow-topped mountains, beautiful valleys, rivers, lakes. That's what Lilwat is named after. And our people are known to fish. We live off the land. We respect the animal spirits. And we're just starting to, we have a group that I'm just starting to support is some of our elders. And I brought some of our students as a teacher up to our birthing rock, and we're protecting it. And I wrote a letter to the Pemberton and to our chief and council and to Porka Bikes because they were going to put a race on the birthing rock. And I was pretty upset by it. And I have so much documentation. I can't, I have some papers I can share emails. But part of that was that I told them that people could get hurt. It doesn't matter if you're Statliam, Lilwat, if you're non-native, if you come from somewhere else. If you're going to go to our sacred territories, you could get hurt unknowingly. And that's something I wrote in our emails to Porka Bikes. And one of the responses they put back on Facebook was like, "We understand that you're angry." And I'm like, I'm not angry. This is not anger. I've had another person say, "Oh, you're a radical." We're not a radical. We're protectors. We have a lot to teach, a lot to learn. I say I'm still a baby. And this is something that we're doing, though. So I just wanted to share. There's so much to share. We have a group of elders that I've shown pictures here that are formed a group. And they're called the Shkalakshtin Shkalanchut. And they wrote a letter to, because they're going to do development on this mountain, this sacred mountain. Not only are they bike racing it, and I did get them to stop racing around that sacred site. They put a little tiny fence, you know, those little rancher fences with wood. Any kid could step over it. I didn't think that was sufficient, and I told them this. And their response was that we're rerouting. We're still going ahead with the race on your mountain. We're just going to kind of reroute it. And I said, that's still unacceptable. And then they also said, well, we wrote a letter to your chief and council, and I wrote a letter to them, and I didn't hear back. So we still need to protect our lands and waterways. I like to call my family up here to help us sing the bear song. Somebody was requesting it. And there, like I said, there's so much more I could share here. And you can see some of the pictures of our ancestors. I met some new friends here from, well, some friends from Alaska, some friends from France, and I was teaching them about, we don't really go around and say we're from Canada. We say we're Lilwat-Statliam, we're on Turtle Island, and some really good teachings there. So, you know, it's not me being angry, showing that Canadian flag with that fallen maple leaf on there. That's one of our warriors sharing that. So we're just going to share like one round of the bear song so that we know we have to be brief. Oh, this is my friend Manape too. He went to Standing Rock. He's loaning us his drum. Any other drums out there? We'll be brief, but part of this with the bear dance is that when they had a vision and the bear went up, they saw them across the river, and that's why they stood up like this, and then they're dancing. Kukshim. Kukshim Kalap. Again, this is my uncle, Franklin Andrew, my dad's brother, and my dad's younger sister, Cheryl, my cousin Leah Dan, and her sister, Linda Dan. So, Kukshim Kach. Sorry, it's so brief. We're on a time limit. No Indian time. Kukshim Kach.